तो वो कहते हैं ना, पैशन से घर नहीं चलता है, उसके लिए रोकड़ा भी चाहिए होता।
As artists, after all, we are communicators and storytellers.
मैं कह रहा हूँ जर्नलिज्म भी कर लेती है आप डांस के साथ, पूछ लेती हैं आप थोड़ा डांस फॉर्म के साथ कि बैंगलोर की दशा कब सुधरेगी महाशय। Only thing they would not want to spend on is the artist.
Is the artist. You're organizing it in this 5-star property. You don't even want to pay 10% of what's going to be your alcohol bill to the artist. How do I explain to the artist that they don't want to pay you because?
Yeah.
It's just not, doesn't make sense.
Hello and welcome to the Tuhin Show. This is powered by the Style.world. My guest today is a prolific dancer. She's an award-winning and accomplished choreographer. She gave Kathak a new dimension through her dance form. She amalgamated dance with martial art and other dance forms as well. She is an icon of Bengaluru. She is Madhu Natraj. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me over. Doing fab. And you?
I'm doing fine, and we just had a cup of coffee, and I heard you used to consume a lot of coffee, huh?
The conversation about coffee, not over coffee. Yes, absolutely. I'm a coffee fiend, and I used to drink about 7 cups of coffee.
7 cups?
Yes. And then, as I'm getting older, all of the things that come with it, gut issues, blah, blah, anxiety. So now I'm down to 3, 4.
Which is okay.
Which is okay.
Nice, yes. And how much water in a day?
Lots of water. I have at least about 12 to 14 glasses of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reason behind your glowing face. Less coffee, too much of
Also,
water.
I don't take myself too seriously.
Okay.
That saves a lot of anxiety.
Well, coming to Natya Institute of Kathak and Choreography, you also have a STEM
Yes.
company.
Yes.
Company with K.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And STEM is, since we're in Bangalore, sometimes people initially would confuse it with stem cell research. And then now it is science, technology, engineering, math. But I have to keep reminding them that this is space, time, energy and movement, which are the precepts of choreography. That's
What is this? What is it? The space, time,
So
energy
space is
and
of course, as you know, a meter for measuring or creating. And then time also does that. So creating movement using energy in space and time is choreography.
Nice. Well, you come from lineage of dancing. Your
Yes.
mother was a dancer.
Yes.
She was an accomplished choreographer
Yes.
and a Kathak dancer. But you studied to be a journalist as well, right? Did you study journalism?
Actually, even when I was doing commerce, I was scoring more in English than in accountancy. So, so that was a natural progression. I'm a voracious reader. Both my parents were, and in fact, my father. You saw a library of 1,800
Right.
books, so collected by them, especially my dad. Then I decided I wanted to become a dancer. I was already 19, 20.
Okay.
And I felt like I had lost time. I think the 90s version of FOMO or whatever for dance. And I would come here to Natya Institute and study choreography from 10 to 1:30, have a quick bite on the go. And I used to work with a newspaper company teaching dance through its newspaper articles. It was part of their marketing department. On my moped, I would zip across Bangalore. Those days in Bangalore, you could get from Koramangala to Malleshwaram in 15-20 minutes. Of course, we were young and reckless and stunt driving. I would do that, come back here again at 4:30 and do my Kathak riyaz every day.
Okay.
And then join in evening college for my post-graduation in journalism.
मैं कह रहा हूँ जर्नलिज्म भी कर लेती है आप डांस के साथ, पूछ लेती हैं आप थोड़ा डांस फॉर्म के साथ कि बैंगलोर की दशा कब सुधरेगी महाशय।
Absolutely, कब सुधरेगी? हम लोगों को ही सुधारना पड़ेगा. We're responsible equally.
But tell me one thing, you gave Kathak a new dimension. So you have Kathak, you have martial arts, and it's the contemporary dance form. How did that come in your head? Because you're doing different forms of martial arts as well,
Right.
different forms of dance,
Yes.
and which you are bringing in the STEM dance company.
You know, because we're such a diverse country. Every 20 kilometers, cuisine is changing, dialects are changing, the way we dress is changing, and dance is a reflection of life. It mirrors life. So
Right.
why are we not, including that diversity and change? I'm a child of the privatization era also. And all of that reflected in my dance. So I came back, revisited Kathak, Hatha Yoga, various Indian martial art forms like Kalipattu, Thangtha and Chow, and created a vocabulary. So STEM's work, as you see, is, you will see pieces on Indian mysticism, but we'll be interacting with multimedia.
Right.
Recently our work was with AI, and that was on climate change.
Right.
So, the gamut is huge, from social issues to climate to going back to our mysticism, mythology, because that's what we are as Indians.
So when you were doing all these social dance forms on social issues, because that you do a lot, you tell people that this is the issue in the society through your dance form. Did you find any resistance from people?
Yes, I did initially,
क्या
because
resistance आया?
resistance ये था कि when I came back, I'm talking about 94, 95, and this young chit of a girl. So there were a lot of purists saying, "अरे इतनी अच्छी कथक dancer है, why is she standing on her head and talking about sexuality or insecurity or women's issues? Where's the need at that time?" But the Bangalore audiences loved it. We had full houses, and because Bangalore is again a space that's both discerning and accepting, and they loved it. And of course, the other side of it that happens a lot in our countries. After a year, we had many clone groups too. But
Right.
yeah, so I think the opposition came from the purists.
So what were the major social issues you were working on?
I think it would be women's issues. So to work with the Hengsara Hakina Sangha, which is Kannada for Women's Legal Rights Association. I've done 2
Right.
projects with them, and on femininity, feminism and sexuality. Lot of work also at that time. I would work on drug addiction. I'm talking the 90s. Then little later with depression, mental issues.
Right.
We've done pieces on, like I said, right now the biggest crisis which has put its foot through our thresholds is climate change. So
Right.
the latest pieces on climate action. This was something that our director, Dr. Maya Rao, had said, that the first year you do a mythological production, choreography,
Right.
then historical, then a Sanskrit production. So we all had to learn Sanskrit. And the final production is a contemporary one, contemporary issue. So I remember my time, it was about the race for the #1 position. Somebody else did dowry deaths. Someone else, recently someone did marital rape. And I remember bumping into a student who was the 1968 batch, and I said, "Aapka kya tha when you were a student here?" And she says, "Zamindari system."
Zamindari system.
She was there at that time. Yeah. So times change. हम लोगों का नज़रिया बदलता है as artists, because as artists we are also carrying so much history.
Right, that
with
is
us,
there.
Right. So that's the problem I have with purists when they say, "Oh, tradition." Tradition can't be pickled. It evolves.
You should do something on artists as well. That's also a social issue. the social issue with artists is with every artist,
Yes.
right? Be it an MC, be it an actor, be it a voiceover artist, be it anyone. The challenge is the person who's hiring you, they
Yeah.
don't care about you. Okay?
Exactly.
They say, okay, we'll give you this much money, next time we'll give you more.
Yes.
And they'll spend crores on setup and everything. The only thing they would not want to spend on is the artist.
Is the artist. Absolutely. And you're so right, because even when we do shows, people still bargain, right? I'm sure that happens with you if you're doing
Yeah.
And then they'll say things like, Acha, there are only 40 people in the audience. Or they will say, or they'll say, ma'am, you say this is how much we charge for anything between a 15-minute to 40-minute performance. And they'll say, but we want just 10 minutes. You know, so you're telling them you're not buying sabzi, first of all. And two, I always say the moment an artist puts on her makeup, that's an evening's work for her.
Right.
Whether you have 40 or 1,000 people in the audience, we will perform with the same sincerity.
Exactly. This is what people don't understand. I got a call. They were like, okay, you have to come to Whitefield. Like, okay.
Yeah.
First, you have to come to Whitefield. Okay. Then the other person is saying, oh, it's only for 20-25 minutes. I said, listen, I'm coming to Whitefield. Working for 20-25 minutes means half my day.
Yes.
Because I'm coming there, I'll prepare for your show and everything. I'll perform there. I have to make sure that people will enjoy that.
Yes.
And then come back.
And उसके लिए वीजा भी लिया होगा ना?
वीजा
Going
भी
all the
लिया है
way to-
मैंने. हाँ.
Pay you because
Yeah.
it's just not, doesn't make sense.
Do you have like a code word? Because Kathak is all about expressions and steps and hand movements. So do you have a code word when you're in a party or you want to talk to someone?
Talk to a friend.
And so that the other person won't come to know.
You know what I actually do at most parties is I get bored very easily. So somebody will be accosting me with, you know, some, I don't know, going on talking, and then I will just look at another friend like that, and then look at this person and again look back. And they'll come and say, Madhu, 1 minute, I think I need your help for something. That's it.
What's the gharana you follow? Because as far as I know, Kathak as it is means Kathakar comes from two gharanas. One is Jaipur gharana, one is the UP Lucknow gharana,
Yes.
Varanasi gharana, Banaras gharana. So these are two gharanas. One is about expression, one is about foot movement.
The two gharanas, when they did develop, is more when they became court forms.
Right.
So the Rajputs patronized one and the Mughals patronized the other.
Right.
So, and that's why in Jaipur Gharana, I mean, imagine warriors watching. So it's quite dhoom dhadakkedar it used to be, with a lot of footwork, parant, etc. And you know, the music, drupads, etc. And whereas in the Mughal courts, the Persian influence comes in.
Right.
And that nazakat and you know, the regal stature, all of that, and also, you know, more khayals and tumbris and all that. But today, as you see the two forms, I'm not talking about Banaras at all, but Jaipur and Kathak, they're very similar. And I studied both because of my guru, who studied from Shambhu Maharaj. She was his first student in independent India, Lucknow, and then also studied some rhythmic structures and other things from the Jaipur Gharana with Sundar Prasad ji.
Right.
So all of our students learn both styles.
So what ragas do you like the most? The ragas to work on.
Well, maybe Rag Yaman.
Okay. Waiting for some lines coming from it.
So there is a Saraswati Vandana that we do.
Okay.
So it goes like this. Ya kundendu tushar har dhabla. Incidentally, Tushar and your name is the same.
Yes.
Dew.
Dew. Wow. I studied for a bit, classical, Hindustani classical.
Oh, I see.
Studied for 3-4 months, and then I picked up some of the sargams and some of the bandish.
I see.
So,
Which is your favorite?
So, Bhairavi.
Please sing something in there.
Because Bhairavi is जिसमें कोमल स्वर भी लगते हैं, नॉर्मल स्वर भी लगते हैं. So रे बार जोरी नाई रे रे हारे रे कनाई बनिया भरत गगरी मोरी गिराई कर के लड़ाई बार जोरी नाई रे रे हारे. Yeah, एको भी अच्छा हो रहा है ना.
And yeah, in that Barajori itself, you can sense the friction, na?
Yeah.
So it's so beautifully composed, all
Oh, it
these
is,
pieces, and so much thought. And there's a beautiful thumri. It is Kahe Rokat Dagar Pyare, Nandlal Meri.
Okay.
Nit hi karat jhagda humse, pan ghat nahi jaan dekh.
हाँ.
And देखत सब नारी मोहे बहिया क्यों करेगे. You know, so it's usually these are Navdi or Brij Bhasha. And then in this one, it's really interesting. He steals her necklace, and he says, "I'm not going to give it to you."
Okay.
You know, so she's scolding him. She's doing binti, but she says, "No, I'm not going to give this."
But good steps, good expression in
Yes.
this, because it's not angry, it's
Yeah.
not sad, it's not fight. It's like that.
It's emotions that you
playfulness
relate to, no?
and naughtiness in
Which
that.
we recognize every day. Yeah, that's what the thing is, no? The dance, as artists, after all, we are communicators
Okay.
and storytellers.
Let's see how well you communicate. I'll give you some
God, I'm getting
emotions, and then let's see
I'm
how you show the emotions.
Okay.
Sad, hurt, happy, love.
Can I use my hands now? To show love as we do in Kathak when you spot Krishna.
Lust.
Oh God.
Oof, oof, oof. Naughty.
Naughty.
Angry. Can you do some tal for us? Some.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? Now this 1, 2, 3 ki jagah, we are going to say tig dha dig dig tig dha dig dig da da the. Tig dha dig dig tig dha dig dig da da the. Tig dha dig dig tig dha dig dig da da the da da the da da the da da the. And you're dancing it so you can go, you know, you're going tig dha dig dig da da the, etc. So embodying this whole idea of space and time that you were talking
Right.
about. This is it.
Nice. I learned very, very few through a song with a very close friend of mine, Palash Sen. So, in
Was it, he was
You-
part of a pop group, right?
Euphoria.
Euphoria, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
So उनके गाने में एक दिगड़ा दिग 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 धा धा दिगड़ा दिग 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 धा दिगड़ा दिग 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 धा धा दिग 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 धा.
Very nice. You can do Parang.
Coming back to Kathak, there's a very intricate question, and that is, do you think men shy away from Kathak or any traditional Indian dance form because it is considered effeminate?
Those times are over to me.
Okay.
Those times are over. Because if you actually look at the history of Kathak also, I mean, there were these women courtesans and, you know, the Baijis and all that who would do it. And then, you know, the Maharajas that you had, you know, Kalka Bindadin, etc. Men dancing. And if you look at non-urban spaces like folk ritualistic theatres, that was men who would perform.
Right.
You know, in post independent India, we had so many gentrified Indians, and the idea of men dancing, not dancing, women doing this and that, I think it became very cut and dry. 15, 20 years ago, if you said it was difficult to be a male dancer in India,
It was.
it was. And now, because, and like I said, post-independence in classical forms. But that no longer. It's a very accepting space, and that's why you find that there is inclusivity in professions like the fashion industry, creative industries,
Right.
dance. So you find more men and many genders also coming into it.
Right. It was covered in Rocky and Ronnie ki Prem Kahani also.
Fabulously done,
Yeah.
except the dancing. So tell me something, Tuhin, what brought you to Bangalore?
Work. I was with a radio station here, and I came back from Dubai, and this was the only opening which I found when I came back from Dubai.
I see.
And I was like, okay, let's go. And they were like, and I said, listen, I don't know how to speak in Kannada. They said, no, we don't want it. It's a cosmopolitan city.
Yes.
And it's a Hindi radio station. You come here and you perform in Hindi. It's a Bollywood radio station. I came here, and again, the Janta of Bangalore, they accepted me.
Yes.
And the brand became, like even the kids were singing my song.
Oh,
So which I loved
what was that song?
From a 2-year-old to a 62-year-old, everybody is like singing that. So it became a hook called Tutur Tutur Tuhin Ke Saath.
Oh, okay.
So traffic ki pungi baja.
I've heard this song now, I remember. Blast from the past.
So it's like traffic ki pungi baja tutur tutur tuhin ke. And kids would sing that. First I heard from my nephew. And then traffic ki pungi baja tutur tutur tuhin. Wow, nice. So yeah, after that I was known as Tutur Tutur Tuhin in entire Bangalore, like wherever you go. Do you think a lot of classical performers shy away from the craft because there's less money in that?
Like I said, what about passion? When you have the passion, you will go all out. I mean, this could have been said of cricket about 30 years ago.
Right.
You were doing it for the passion. What were you getting paid? Nothing. In that Kapil Dev movie, we see that.
Right.
But I really think to be really good at something, you have to give it your all.
Right.
Tan man dhan.
Tan man dhan se.
So, yeah, it does happen, of course.
तो वो कहते हैं ना पैशन से घर नहीं चलता है.
Yeah.
उसके लिए
Yeah.
रोकड़ा भी चाहिए.
Like just like they say about love, no? You can't live on love and fresh air. So you can't
Yes.
live on passion and fresh air. But if you are good at what you do, you will not come to that situation.
Talk about love. I'm gonna ask a personal question. Have you ever fallen in love?
Of course, I'm human. Right.
So what is your relationship status?
At the moment, I'm single.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's mine.
You never married?
I have been married.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I have been married before, and it was not meant to be. So I always believe that it's better to get out of something which is after trying really hard. I tried very hard, but when there is abuse or dishonesty, we don't have to take it.
Madhu Natraj is single right now. The status is single. If you love art form, please contact.
Please come join our classes.
Yes. Don't send silly messages. I want to friendship with you.
Absolutely. I think nothing puts me off more than cheesy pickup lines.
What are the cheesiest pickup lines you've ever received?
So one was a friend of mine and I recently were at one of Bangalore's many wonderful resto bars, and this youngster comes up to us and says, excuse me ladies, right now all my friends think I'm like the luckiest guy, talking to you. So both of us, like this other friend of mine, journalist and me, so we looked up and said, really? He said, yeah. I said, where are your friends? And it was just a line, right? So he was like all flustered and all. So I said, yeah, where are your friends? They're all there. I said, yeah, where? So by then the bouncer came, and that's the thing.
What is this pickup line? I didn't even understand that.
Yeah, like.
It should be like, listen Madhu, my camera is heating up. Can you reduce your hotness a bit?
Oh God.
Please. Can I just help you with that?
More like the camera. I think you can speak about it as culture, but their work culture, for example, is fabulous, especially the university circuit. So yeah, different places like this. I loved, last year I went to South Africa for the first time. So,
Okay.
and I'm hoping to do 4 more countries this year, so my score will be 60.
Wow. Wow. Have you ever done the cross-culture performance? You get a flamenco dancer, you bring a Kathak dancer, put them together.
Yes, we have done that because Kathak and flamenco till today reflect each other. As you know, there's a gypsy route and there's an exchange between the flamenco and Kathak dancers. So when we, actually that should have been the answer. When did Kathak go global is when it traveled to Spain way back maybe 400 odd years ago.
You're talking about the social causes, social issues, just came in my mind. There's one thing which everyone forgets, and that is men's health.
Yes.
Nobody knows when Men's Day is.
When is it?
Men's Day is on 19th of November, and it's for the physical and mental well-being of men. For that awareness.
See, I learned something new today.
Yeah.
Except isn't every day Men's Day and a Women's Day anyway?
Yeah, it is. But November is Movember. It's for the prostate cancer, of course. That's why people grow beard and mustache, because people with cancer, they can't grow
in solidarity.
hair. In solidarity, they grow beard and mustache. That's what Movember is all about. And on 19th is Men's Day, which is for mental and physical well-being of men.
Right, right.
बिकॉज क्या होता है कि मर्द सोचता है कि उसको दर्द नहीं होता, मैंने नहीं रोना.
Yes.
मेंटल हेल्थ पे तो क्या हो गया, आई डील विद इट. फिजिकल हेल्थ पे तो क्या हो गया, आई हैव टू वर्क. सो फैल जाता है एंड नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ देमसेल्व्स. सो इट इज़ फॉर दैट. सो इफ you think of social causes, so I think you should think that day as well. That we're not talking about women today, we're not talking about dowry or whatever. Today let's talk about men.
Incidentally, Tuhin, we did a production based on, at that time, Mahesh Dattani, the theatre person and filmmaker, was our chairperson. And for the Festival of Masculinities, we had taken a passage from his book. It's a play called Dark Muggy Night in Mumbai, which was made into a film also called Mango Souffle. There is one page which says, who is a real man? Is the man who walks, like this? Is the man who. So based on that, we had created this for the Festival of Masculinities.
Dance is also meditation. So have you, or if you know anyone, while dancing, they had out of body experience?
So there is this whole space called trance, right? Which is when a artist or a performer, whether it's a spirit performer like Bhutakola or Tayyam or the shamans, they usually dance and then they go into a trance. So even the whirling dervishes. So there is this moment of complete clarity when you lose your sense of ego or me, which car do I drive, I am this person, I performed in so many places. When that goes, space of neutrality, I really feel is when you connect to the divine in a sense.
This happened with you before, that there are people around and...
It's happened to me at a very subtle level. It has happened, yeah. But
it's not like when people are worried what's...
No. I mean, although in dance, cultural anthropology, there is a type of dance which is called convulsive, pure convulsive, weakened convulsive, which is when they get into a trance and start trembling and all of that.
Like Bhutakola or Tayyam.
Yeah.
They go in like major trance.
And you have many such across the world, that the witch doctors of Zambia, Koot in Korea, many places.
So do you believe that they get spirit inside them, or they go into their own trance?
Well, definitely the Kundalini is what gets activated, and then whether you're possessed by a spirit or by your own superhuman energy, we don't know, is what I believe.
Keep it simple.
Yes.
You have traveled so much. What was your wackiest international trip?
We were in Kazakhstan and we were given like this interpreter who was really sweet, but I really don't think she knew English or something, because if you said, I won't say her name now, I said, excuse me, can you tell me if we can check in now? She'll say, you want coffee? You drink coffee? And when we were going back, the embassy people had given a letter yet, because we carry our swords and all that for the martial arts sequences, part of our Dances of India theme. Got caught. One of my dancers is getting marched off to the police station in the airport. And I'm saying to this girl, can we do something like, can you come with me, explain to them? You drink coffee, you drink breakfast? I said, please, Then I had to go and mime and show them, our brochures and say, this is the dance form, this is the boy doing it, and they let it pass. This was again another country which has a benign dictator, and if there is any such term, and they insisted that his photograph, a big portrait like 20 by 20, be on stage when we are doing a performance on India coexisting with tradition modernity. I said, we are not going to do it. And the ambassador was saying, ma'am, please, there is nothing we can do really. So I said, can we speak? So their cultural attaché came and I had a solution. I said, see, let's do one thing. We will make a projection of his photograph. So the announcements will happen, I'll speak in my language and your interpreter. And then at this time, let the dictators, the leaders, photo be there. But the moment we start dancing, our multimedia will play, then again his thing will come. So they agreed. And then was the second thing, which was you cannot mispronounce his name. So this, like Purane Zamane mein, feel like heads will roll, that scenario. And me, who otherwise just improvises and all that, actually wrote his name on my hand. So I would say, and now His Majesty, as I was saying, making sure that, very subtly. So.
Tell me a love story with Bangalore.
So my father used to live here, and he used to come to Delhi and be with us for 3 months, and then we used to come for 2.5 months. You know the Delhi vacation, 15th May to 15th July. Those days, Bangalore, you had to wear sweaters at night in the month of May because the monsoon was on. And there were special treats, like my father would take me to Nilgiris on Brigade Road, which I've noticed is not there now. And you'd get something called the apple cake, which has actually no apple in it. It's all the leftovers that gets made into one. We'd eat that. Then he would take me to buy books at Select Book House on Brigade Road. And Mr. Murthy was his friend. Then we would go to Koshi's.
Okay.
That's where my parents used to date also.
Okay.
Right, and I would have a particular, it was called spaghetti au gratin there. Then he would take me down to Lakeview to have a cassata or whatever, ice cream. And he had me believe that there was a lake across.
Okay.
And for the longest time as a child, I really thought there was, I don't know why my father used to do these things. And then he would take me to Commercial Street or something and would buy me something to take back to Delhi, you know, clothes. And then when I was about 15, 16, my mother was asked by the then Chief Minister Ramakrishna Hegde to move our institute to Bangalore. There was no Kathak, there was Bharatnatyam and Kuchipudi. And he said, Mayaji, would you like to have a studio, the very one that we're sitting in here, or would you like to get a land outside Bangalore? She said, I want to be here and train as many people as possible. And Pratima ji chose to take the place which has become that beautiful Nritya Gram for Odissi. And I was like just getting into 11th standard and had got into 11th. And she said, you're moving to Bangalore. And as a teenager, I was like, you're taking me to some village and royal tantrum. I was brought here kicking and screaming. And then she said, try it for 2 years, otherwise go live in a hostel in Delhi. And Tuhin, Bangalore just embraced me with this kind of warmth. I was suddenly in a women's college, Mount Carmel, but with these very powerful yet loving nuns. My friends came from different walks of life. Bangalore was cosmopolitan always, multicultural. And it also had this Anglo-Indian culture there. So you had a little bit of both. You know, as we've spoken about, there was a Bangalore and a Bengaluru existing. And at night, even at 1 a.m. on your moped, you could zip around. That kind of liberation that I found here, and the kind of conversations, the kind of friendships, and the spaces, you know, all of us would be in Fraser Town area for Christmas, going to our friends' houses, and at 16, we would still get a piece of cake and some wine. So we met 6 friends and had wine that their parents had made. You were slosh. Or, you know, Ramzan time, you were again in, you know, Mosque Road and all, and greeting friends. And similarly, you know, I mean, our institute is in the hub of culture, which is Malleshwaram. I still believe it's the, you know, center of the universe. But, and you get everything here. You could go to a temple concert in the morning and go to a really rocking jazz concert at a pub at night. You know, this is Bangalore, where it balances and there is a collision of the old and the new happening all the time.
And very close-knit as well.
Close-knit. I mean, I actually like the anonymity now, jab kahin jao, to otherwise everywhere you went, everyone knew you, you knew everybody else, you know. So this is nice that more people are coming in, but do we have the infrastructure to, you know, take such a surge with the influx? And there has to be more people involved in civic movements, and that's always there. I remember, like, you know, they wanted to build some apartments and Kaban Park would go. So everybody was out on the streets, you know, and in Kannada you say Dikara, Dikara. So I have been in those, the flyover projects. So there's a strong civic movement, there's a sense of belonging. People are proud Bangaloreans. That's my love story with Bangalore.
What do you think about socialites and social gatherings?
You're getting me? I'm going to be debarred from. Well, I just feel, you know, this importance given to an 80,000, 2 lakh bag, and then posting about buying it and putting it on the phone. And I'm thinking, okay, that's 2 productions we could have done. or 2 schools we could have, rural schools we could have started something in. So I really feel you can wear something that you bought, you know, off the road and still be stylish. Or you want to spend on something heirloom, yeah, do it. But why make such a big deal of that? And my problem with the social circles is always like checking you out, what shoes are you wearing, which car are you driving, where do you live?
Really? It's there in Bangalore?
It is there in Bangalore, subtly,
Okay.
not as much as Delhi,
Huh.
but yeah.
What's the most expensive thing you've bought?
Most expensive thing I have bought, I would think my laptop. It's another appointment because I was there for a week. I said, anything else? I said, skydiving. This is 2007. So they started laughing. They said, you know, we've had artists come from India and itne nakhre hote hain, you know, I only want a white car or I want this in my green room and I will only, please get me only Indian food. They said, we had no nakhras from you. We had a quality
Fun
performance.
artists from India.
And I never thought you'd say you want to skydive and get tattoos done.
Talking about Maori, did you learn Haka dance?
I didn't learn Haka, but I love to watch it, you know, the spirit of the Maoris.
It is something else.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's embedded in my tattoo also.
Yeah. So I think you should bring the Kiwis here, the Maoris here, and do Kathak with them. So one side is
Padant. I'll
Yeah.
put you right in front to do their Padant with the
right.
Maori.
What kind of padant is it? Tell me.
Yeah, so if you want a powerful Padant, then it's usually like the bowls of the Pakhavat. So it'll be a Paran. So it'll be like Gindrida Tadan Dha Giganana Tirta Dhatita Dhatita Dha Kivatunama Gita Dhatita Dhita Dhita Dhatita Dhan Dha Kirdhatita Dhatita Dhan Dha Kirdhatita Dhatita Dhan Dhan Dha.
What's your idea of a perfect date?
I would think I'm a beach person, so it would be a nice coffee, watching a sunset, and then a bubbly.
Okay.
That would be my idea. of a good
Wow.
date.
What kind of perfume do you want on your partner?
See, I definitely think, you know, what I find attractive about a person is definitely that they smell good and they don't have bad breath.
Okay.
Cannot stand it. That's
Okay.
the time I will look at friends and say, I want to go out.
So if ever you want to go on date with her, please brush your teeth properly.
I should also want to go on a date. No.
Yeah, please ask her. And if you're going, smell good, and you can carry an agarbatti with you.
Agarbatti? No, no, no. They're not come to do puja. Madhuji.
Madhuji. But talking about that, have you ever received an indecent proposal?
Yes.
What was it like?
I have been propositioned.
What happened in that?
Well, it definitely led to me either walking out or giving some tongue lashing. I think it was once when I was modeling. I did only one walking show modeling because I used to get bored practicing walk 8 steps, stop, turn around, come, because I'm a dancer, you know. So, but I used to do a lot of print ads. And I remember this person was calling me for a film. And suddenly he said, "Can you stand up? Can you turn around? Can I look at you?" And I was just thinking, and there was a woman employee with him who just glared at him, you know. And after that he says, "Yeah, okay, can we talk about this? Come and have dinner with me." Openly. Like, what does that mean, right?
Have dinner with me.
No.
No?
No. It meant, but and you know, of course, after that some messages came and phone calls about, you know. So this is one of them.
Okay. What do you have to say about Gen Z, the generation which is coming now? Will they take Kathak forward?
I think they definitely will.
Okay.
And on their own terms.
Okay.
Like we did on our own terms,
Right.
right? So, like I said to you before, I'm not averse to change, and I really think this generation is very fearless. You know, they're like, this thing didn't work, move to the next, they keep trying. And also very conscious is the generation who made their parents stop using crackers, make people more aware of climate change.
Right.
Right? But it is also generation which has a very short attention span.
Okay.
And lots of distractions. So I really get along very well with Gen Z, but I feel that maybe that terroir we talked about has to come in.
Right.
But it'll come with age.
But you know, imitation is a way to learn as well, which I was just making. If you're singing, and if you can't sing properly, then if you go in the singer style, you can actually sing it properly.
So we believe that for dance,
Right.
that I do an exercise which is called follow the leader, right? So one person leads and everybody else
And
follows.
you copy.
Yeah, and the idea is when you're mirroring that person, that you are learning something that you would probably never do yourself.
Right.
And it also teaches you humility to say, otherwise you're like, oh, you know, do something more.
Right.
You know? So to follow, as you say, that's actually very poignant that mimicry is actually learning.
I do it with a couple of singers as well, like Kumar Sanu. So if I'm singing, Do Dil Mil Rahe Hain, it's not coming. So you need to get into the singer. And if Kumar,
with that mithas and all.
with that mithas, and if Kumar Sanu is singing Baba Black Sheep, so he would go, Baba Black Sheep, have you any wood? Yes sir, tree bag full. That's how you get into the character. Taking dance to places, Kathak, martial art, and making it contemporary to make it interesting for the generation to come. Madhu Natraj, an icon of Bengaluru. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed myself. Namaskara.